Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Rhea Peterson. I'm so glad you're here. Today I have a bit of a grocery restock, pantry restock, and downstairs cleanup. It's pretty messy down here. We've been doing birthday party after birthday party and everything has kind of just gone to pieces. So that's my focus. I've got to refill my refrigerator and clean up the downstairs before we get into the weekend. So that is what is happening and I'm going to share it with you. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos multiple times a week on cleaning, organizing, food, all sorts of things, and I would love to share them with you, but I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get started. Let's go. I'm going to start off by unloading all the groceries, and this is a very good example of scatterbrained Rhea. I will start in one place and then move on to the other. I feel like I especially do this when all of my kids are around because I have a really hard time focusing on one thing at a time when I've got three things needing me. So my kids are getting their lunch together. Thankfully, Hugo's a big helper and the boys are pretty independent and Alice is very independent. So I don't have to do a lot with that. I'm just kind of there to be a cheerleader for them to do that. But I am going to get my sink cleaned up, finish off getting the dishes washed, and then I'm going to get my produce cleaned. I've done this a lot of times on my food videos, but I figured I would just throw in a little bit on this video as well. If you're interested in a more detailed produce watch, I will post or link some of my Food Week videos to give you a little bit more information about that. But I'm going to get the produce going and get some of the perishables put away as quickly as I can. But full disclosure, I do have a tendency of spacing out and forgetting things. So things like the spinach are going to be like one of the last guys in the boat. So sorry about that. If you're if you are more cautious with your food, I try my best, but I get really easily distracted. So I buy a lot of things in bulk. One of the main reasons is because I don't like having to go to the store all of the time. So things like butter and lunch meat and cheese, I'll buy in bulk and then I'll put some of it in the fridge, just like what we'll realistically need, and then I put the rest in the freezer. And I haven't had any problems, and I'm really glad that those things freeze really nicely because like going to the store for the same thing over and over again is just something that does not interest me. So if I can do it like once a month, I'm so happy. Produce, not as easy unless you freeze it, but things like cheese and butter, I can get it in bulk and most of the time save a little bit of money too. So that is usually my goal to do. And because of all of the birthdays, I've been going through so many eggs and so much butter. And even as I speak, I have to, once I'm finished with this, I have to go finish up a dessert for a baby shower that I got invited to and said I would bring a dessert to. And I thought, well, since I've been riding this wave, I might as well just make more cake with frosting on it. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm just getting everything put away that I see in the moment before I get too distracted, refilling the eggs and getting the produce that I can in containers. I did do some shopping for my upcoming food week that will come out on Monday. So I'm trying to kind of get things washed and ready for that I'm going to film and try to be kind of organized about it because I'm doing it different than I normally do, or at least that I have had done in the last 3 videos that I did. So I'm I'm getting some things prepped, and then other things I'm just not going to bother with because now is not the time to do it. And I don't want to do it because I need to get everything else done. And it's okay if it sits in the fridge for another day without being cut up. So after we did a dual birthday party for my, for my two older boys. And after the party, I just kind of threw everything into the pantry and pretended it didn't exist for a little bit. And so now I'm cleaning it up, but it's the end of the month. And so for the majority of the pantry restock, it's just whatever I have left on the top shelf. I didn't really buy anything new for in here except for applesauce, because if you've watched any of my videos, you know that applesauce is basically like Alice bleeds applesauce at this point. She just eats so much of it. But it's that, or she'll go for like chips and pretzels. So I figure I'm just going to bring some balance and I broke my own rule and I got more, even though it wasn't the end of the month yet. But I'm just pulling down everything that is left off of the top shelf and getting that all kind of restocked in there. And I will take note of what I couldn't restock. And then coming into July, I will add those things on to the list and restock those later. But this is better that I did get in the habit of just constantly keeping things restocked, and it gets expensive, and it seems like, I don't know if this is the right way to think about it, but like you appreciate it less when it's constantly there. So like maybe not eating 4 granola bars a day instead, because they won't last, but having like 1 granola bar. So I'm trying to kind of encourage more mindful eating and balance in the house, and I think it's working. I don't know, they're kids. It's hard to tell sometimes. And now I'm doing the hot drinks drawer, what I like to call it. Along with bleeding applesauce, I think Alice also bleeds hot chocolate. Like, it depends on the day. She absolutely loves it, and Callum really loves it. So I keep it pretty well stocked. It used to be just like a winter thing, but ever since Alice discovered hot chocolate, it's been a thing in our house. And I'm glad that we bought the Keurig, because it makes it really easy, because they can do it all by themselves for the most part. But now that most of the groceries are put away, I'm going to get the strawberries cut up and put in the fridge, and then continue to work on dishes, the endless dishes. I thought I was done, and then the kids finished up the last of the birthday cupcakes, and I had some containers from cleaning out the fridge. So there is some stuff I'm going to have to hand wash. The dishwasher was already running. So unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit of the time that I thought I had, but it will be nice to just get it done and put away instead of just throwing it into the pantry again or leaving it until the dishwasher is done. To just be done for the day, which is a good feeling. So I was going to do the strawberries, but then I realized I'd forgotten the spinach and I needed the container, and so I had to wash it, and then I just washed all of the dishes. So I got that out of the way, but I still have to do the strawberries. But I'm going to get all of this stuff dried and put away, and then restock the soda, and then I'll finally get to the produce. But like I said, this is just a a foggy brain day for Rhea, although most days I have moments like this where I just kind of get sucked into a rabbit hole. But at least this time I brought the camera with me. There has been times where I will be filming and I'll start doing something and I'll get all this stuff done and then I'll be like, shoot, I forgot the camera. So at least I thought to bring it, but honestly, I had every intention to do the strawberries and then kind of just moved on. And I'm glad I remember that I forgot about the strawberries for a little bit and started doing other stuff. But this is just kind of typical for me. ADHD is quite the adventure. And I wear it as a badge of honor at this point. It is who I like. It's just part of me and I have learned to deal with it and I'm okay with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I think a little different than what is deemed normal, but sometimes it does get frustrating when I'm trying to do something and I derail. And I've talked about this before, but it is what it is. And if I can make anybody else feel a little more normal, then I'm happy to do that. But now I'm finally going to cut the strawberries. All the food prep is done. Hooray! And now I need to take care of the carnage from all of the restocking. So I'm gonna get all of the bags put away, fix some of, like, we have a flag that we are hanging on our front door, but I took it down for birthday decorations. Get all that put together, or taken care of, put the recycling away, and then I'm gonna tidy up the mudroom. Thankfully, the mudroom wasn't too bad. It was just kind of cluttered and a lot of it was me just not properly putting all of my running gear away. And so I'm going to get that taken care of and then move on to the next task. Now the mudroom is done. I made this happy birthday sign years ago for one of Connor's birthdays, and we've hung it up for every birthday since then, and I just kind of put it in a random spot. It never goes with any of the birthday themes or anything, but I made it on my friend Amanda's Cricut ages ago, I think before Callum was even born, and I've just hung it up every year ever since for everyone's birthday, and I love it. I am just getting the counters wiped down and then I'm going to wipe the table and move on to tidying up the living room. I did have someone comment that they appreciated how chatty I was. And anytime I get super chatty now, I'm going to think of that comment and think, well, one person likes how chatty I am. So I'm just going to lean into it. I get self-conscious about it because I just kind of start talking and I just keep going. So sorry if you don't like really chatty. Some of my videos, I don't talk at all, so you've got that. I can link those for you if you want. But I'm just getting everything wiped down. Those are Alice's flowers. She had her very first dance recital and she did so good and she was so excited to get flowers. And Callum was holding them and gave them to her, so she thinks that Callum went to the store and got her flowers, and it was the greatest gift he's ever given her, which is adorable. And I'm only slightly annoyed that she's disregarded the fact that she was at the store with me when I bought the flowers, and I bought the flowers. But, you know, whatever to help build sibling bonding, I guess. I am sorry. Ooh, that was a ride. I'm now just getting the living room tidied up, and full disclosure, I'm really looking forward to being through the red, white, and blue. I am not a fan of red. I just don't really like it. The color doesn't bring me joy. No shade to anybody that really likes red. I'm so happy for you if you love red, but I just don't love it. So I am looking forward to removing the whimsy that I added for my children. And I only have a few more days left of the red. I'm literally counting down the moments before I can take it down, and I'll probably show you the joy in my face as I take it down. I can't wait. Okay, so this is all that's left, is vacuuming up all of the floors, and our Dyson has been having troubles. I think it needs a new battery. Excuse my kids in the background. Alice has a balloon. She's very excited about it. And I'm sorry, the Dyson doesn't last as long as it used to. I'm pretty sure it needs a new battery. Callum thought that you're supposed to put water in it. Because it has a picture of a faucet showing you like you should wash the filter, and he thought that it needed water. So it's a miracle. Like, I'm glad that it still works for the most part, but it doesn't work like it used to. So I'm gonna vacuum until the Dyson's done, and then that is my sign that I can be done. And that's going to be it. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. And I think I'm just gonna leave it here for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Bye.